Welcome back, everybody. We are the Samurai Reviews. We are your hosts. Today we're going to be discussing about Dr. Sleep. This is the spoiler part of it. If you haven't seen the non-spoiler, go ahead and check that out first. We kind of discuss.
That helps.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
It helps for sure. Before we kind of get into the discussion, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Helps out a ton for giving you these entertaining and critically analyzed inputs. Okay, let's start this discussion, kind of Dr. Sleep. In the non-spoiler, we rated it as 6.3. That's what it came out to be, Samurai Reviews. Mm-hmm. And let's get into this. You have anything to kind of start us off with, Brett?
Yeah, I don't know.
we really talked about how it was really close or the same as the original movie. I like to kind of start more at the end when they do go up to the
first time going back into the hotel.
Back into the hotel where he kind of goes back to the hotel thing that they stayed at in the first Shining. He plays the older version of Danny, who was the little kid in The Shining, and you kind of have him going through the hallways.
Yeah, just reminiscing about whatever happened there, and you see the red drum written on the wall, and you see where the bathroom axe scene, and you see the boiler room. It's in the elevator scene with the blood, you see that. It's so annoying though, because you've sat through about 1.5, 2 hours of this movie, and then they spend what feels like about another hour just him walking through and showing you this thing you already know. And throughout the movie, they've been kind of giving you more original flashbacks, I guess, because they'll have older characters but in different places, outside the hotel. But this one is just straight up remember our movie? And it was kind of at this point in the movie, at any point you shouldn't do it, but at this point you're kind of okay, yeah, I know, I'm aware at this point. We've already established what's going on. I don't need, and it doesn't help you to know that stuff later on, any more than just watching The Shining would. It just feels super it feels egotistical. They're just they're self-pleasuring themselves.
I felt the acting in The Shining did a little bit better than this one, for sure. Mm-hmm. Especially the main character in The Shining. The one that I forget his name.
They did have a lot less characters, though. It was more condensed,
which is a better way of
I agree.
Dealing especially and making character development.
But that's the other thing about this movie is I think they did well with the time they had, and I see why it was so long. I'm not saying that that's good or anything, but the reason it was so long is because they had a lot of characters and they did try and give you some sort of emotional connection to them. And I think for the most part, they succeeded. It just wasn't as much as it could have been. I could have really cared about that, the daughter's parents, and I only kind of cared. I cared, and they got me a little bit, but it could have been so much more. And especially with the cult, anyone that wasn't the leader, I just didn't care. I didn't want to know their names. Crow was close. They try to get you some sort of connection to the rest of the cult group by showing you kind of a scene of them pulling in their newest member. Can influence people to do things with her voice.
Yeah, she's a pusher.
Yeah. And it was a cool power, and they used it pretty well. I like how they kind of killed off an important character with it as she was dying, just to kind of make the consequences feel real to the movie. But they tried to show you her backstory of her, and try and make you care about this group of people a little more, and it just kind of felt like filler. It didn't hold any water to the rest of the narrative, and it was just kind of it was another one of those scenes that's nice to know, but I don't need to know.
I agree. There was this Polynesian guy that was in there. I like to kind of talk about him. He was probably the most loved character He was a nice guy, but you know, as everything happens with nice guys in movies, like Jojo Rabbit's mom, even Obi-Wan Kenobi in the A New Hope, right? They die, and it kind of just drives that motivation towards the main character to take action or do something about it. But I never kind of
feel responsibility towards some sort of pain. But yeah,
this one obviously did not do that well with it compared to all those other movies that I mentioned. Well, besides Wong, Martin, Gemini Man, that was just
missile.
Yeah,
Let's keep going out the door, man.
That was just one of the parts of the movies where I'm just like, yeah, I totally saw that coming. Like it was gonna happen, and it wasn't done well. So I just like to point that out. Why do they keep going back to that freaking old wrinkly like woman?
Dude, yeah, they really they were like, look how gross this is. And I was like, I know, I understand. That doesn't make me like your movie though, that I get to see an old wrinkly woman. And it's not scary anymore because I've seen her like 7 times and nothing's happened.
Yeah, she just stands there.
And you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty gross. And that's about it. They definitely like pushed. They could have done the other characters. Yeah. They even talked about like the other characters. Like he talked to his Shining mentor and was kind of like, yeah, this one guy came up to me and he said this thing and then I closed him off. Like why didn't they show that instead of one of the 10 times they showed the old lady? Because what they're trying to do is they're just like, remember how gross this lady was from the first movie? Which is kind of our point about them just like patting themselves on the back like throughout half this movie. And it was like, good job on that one. Can you make this one a little better? Another thing that I wish they did better was our specific scene was there's a scene where the cult is trying to find people with powers or the shine. They call it steam. And they want to they inhale the steam and that's like their sustenance. And they find this one kid has some, and he's playing baseball, and it's about a 20-second long scene, and all that happens is one of the cult members is just sitting in the stands listening to a conversation that 2 just random guys are just 2 strangers that are not related to the kid. You don't know if they're like parents or if they're just like, want to go see some 9-year-olds play baseball? Like that's just their like day off, and they go see, like, it's weird. So anyways, they're given a conversation and it goes about like this. Hey, that kid is special. He's really good at hitting balls. It's like he can read minds or something. Like he has special powers that someone might want to kidnap him and take and eat him if that were a thing that happened in this universe. Yeah, mark my words, he's gonna be big one day. And then that's like the whole scene, and it was just so... I could gather that without you just reading it off to me. And you just see the crow in the background, he's like... But he already knew that because he was there. Like, all you had to do was show me this kid playing really well at baseball, and then the scenes following it where they're like, hey man, you're really good out there. Like,
you should be in the majors or something like that. Yeah, and then
I would have got like, oh, he's one of the kids with shine. That's why he's so good at baseball. Like, that's all I needed. But yeah, they give you and there's a lot of scenes that are just like, I swear, less than 30 seconds long, and they're not meaningless. They're just like, they're not important. Yeah, but that one baseball scene definitely, like, it was in the middle too, and it was just kind of like I was enjoying it, and then they did the baseball scene, and I was like, that was stupid. That was dumb. But yeah, like there's other scenes that are, the short scenes.
A good original part of the movie that I really enjoyed was when the evil Rose, the hat, kind of tries to track the black.
Oh yeah, the daughter.
The daughter.
So Abra.
Abra, yeah, Abra.
I like that.
And
scene
then she's
a lot.
like floating through the earth and stuff, and she lands in front of the house, and then she goes through the window and everything.
And she's in her mind. She's in Abra's mind.
She's in Abra's mind, and then Abra sets a trap for her, and you're just a trap. Dang! And then she's
like eyeless,
goes inside her mind.
Yeah.
Like Rose the Hat's mind, and then like.
And this time the villain, the scary villain is like terrified. And I that scene was really, really good.
That to me really stuck out. If anything, that was like maybe an 8 or 9 scene.
Because I didn't expect it.
Yeah, definitely.
When she got her hand slammed in the drawer, that's how she like caught her, and I was like, "Oh wait, what?"
And then she's like rips her hand out to try to get out of it, and
she like flays her skin. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It was dope. I thought that was a really good one. But so that happens, and then later on in the movie, they like run away and they go back to the hotel because they say that she's too powerful for them to take on alone. And I was like, the kid almost took her out by herself, and now you have both of you, and now you're like worried. Like, why do you think she was stronger? Because she like took all the steam that she had saved up, but they didn't know that. And like, he was just like, she's too strong. And I was like, I don't think she is, because Abra kicked her ass. Like, I think Abra's got this. But yeah, just gave them an excuse to go back to the hotel. But like, that could have been where they don't go back to the hotel and they just try and make their own movie rather than just like, remember it? Remember the Shining?
And the thing is that in the end, where Danny goes through it the first time, they have Abra go through it again,
and then it happens,
and it's the second time, and it's just all like, oh my gosh,
how many times are you going to show me The Shining before you show me Dr. Sleep? So it like that. The last 30 to 45 minutes of this movie is very, very, I did not like it. I would say the last 30 to 45 minutes of this movie is probably a 4 from me. And the stuff around the self-patting on the back, the stuff around that was like a decent 6. It actually didn't have a bad ending. Like the actual like ending I didn't mind it, but it wasn't great, but it was actually like kind of good. It was better than I was expecting. But yeah, when they're just going around like,
they did it twice. They went around the freaking place twice.
Yeah.
Same thing. You already did it in The Shining, and you're going to do it 2 more times in Dr. Sleep. That just doesn't, that's not good.
It's too much pandering, where it's just kind of like, all right, relax. I remember.
I mean, so Danny's story, I liked
his PTSD arc.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic and he has drinking problems.
And the drinking is what pushes away the like scary parts of The Shining. Yeah. Like, he doesn't like it at first. He like hates it, and he drinks it to dull it.
Yeah, and then he gets picked up by the Polynesian guy, and they help him out, and they become friends. But one of the things that really kind of stood out is that after he stops drinking and everything, and things are going back, and he's kind of accepting his powers a little bit by working at this retirement nursing place. Hospice. Yeah, it's like a hospital for like old people that are like about to die and stuff. And there's like this cat that just knows when they're gonna die, and when they see the cat, they're like, oh, it's my time, and help comfort me, to kind of move on.
So he uses his shine to kind of relax them.
And I thought that was good. I enjoyed that part. Even though it was very slow pace, it was, it wasn't that table turning thing like you get with.
But it was a good moment to see where he like pushed away this ability, and now he's embracing it for helping others. And it was a big turn for the character. It just was done. It was done very fast in such a long movie where you're like, just don't do the other stuff and just expound on the good stuff that you have. The one other thing I'll point out before we, wrap it up is they had a lot of moments where they tried to like be like sneaky and they weren't. So like when they go to capture the girl and then one of the members isn't there, like you notice that right away because he's the biggest member. Yeah. It should have been one of the ones you didn't know.
Plus he was the one, he's like, yeah, I got a trick up my sleeve too. And you're just like, okay. And he's like, oh, he's not there.
So the Rose the Hat goes into, or tries to go into the girl's head to eliminate her. But like immediately you know that it's Danny's head because it's the bush maze, and she's like, it's not your head. And it was like, yeah, no, because her head was different. And like, it just wasn't it. You didn't buy it at all. Any sort of trick they tried to pull, they telegraphed it too hard because they dumbed it down for you. Which is like what you said. So I agree. I think And they're good moments. Like, those are good moments. Just like try not to make them so obvious. Give them a certain amount of like
give the audience a little bit more
and
credit.
Intricacy.
We're smarter than that.
Yeah.
We so smart.
Yeah,
That's not kind of all my points that I have for a discussion part. There's not really much kind of to discuss about it. A lot of the points were mentioned in the non-spoilers. We just kind of got more into details for it. So, yeah. So going off of that discussion, let's kind of get into some IMDb reviewers, like the reviews and stuff. We kind of have... That was more of the fun bit that we had before that we really enjoyed, and we want to get back into it again.
First one kind of is a 10 out of 10 automatically. Okay. So it says fantastic Dr. Sleep. So he says, finally watched a good movie after almost 2 months. There's so many good movies out there, dude. Expand your horizons. Like, how have you not... Joker, Jojo Rabbit, Harriet, all good. Lighthouse. There's one more, Parasite. There's so many good movies out there. And he's like, finally, this has been a really good time for movies, I feel like, in the last 2 months, as opposed to the last, 6. Because then I'd understand. Then I'd be like, all right, yeah, it's pretty rough. So let's see some of his other ones. Yeah, he gave it a 10 out of 10, which is also...
It's a perfect movie.
I've seen a lot of... When I just, scanned through, it seemed like people were just giving it 10 out of 10s because they're like, it was like the other one I saw. It was like The Shining. And you're like, it was a lot like it. Don't you think? Don't you just go watch The Shining again if you liked it that much? But, here we go. What do you think he gave Terminator?
He gave it a 10 out of 10, didn't he?
Close. He gave it a 9 out of 10. Because it's like the other one, the other 572 of them.
And then he said, I'll be back.
He said that before, guys. Do you not get it? I get it because I remember it. I remember it because I'm special. I hate people like that. This is the type of person that just likes nostalgia and can't get over the fact that movies are evolving. Yeah. Everything evolves.
It's kind of like that same guy that repeats his joke over and over again, and you're just like, yes, I get the joke. Like, please.
Ooh, actually, he gave it a 9.1 in the comments. That extra 0.1's important. Really liked it. Was not expecting to. Great CGI, and best action packed. That's the whole sentence. It was best action packed. But it was pretty best action packed. You have to. It was pretty best action packed. I think this guy has been smoking a little too much octane. Woo! Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you all really did it. Don't expect too much. Just relax and watch it. That's not a 9 out of 9 or 9.1. Sorry, that's not a 9.1 out of 10 review. Don't expect a lot, but it's like top 90% of all movies. What are you talking about? It's insane. Let's see what else you got. Joker got a 4 out of 10. Rambo Last Blood got a 9 out of 10. Well, I'll go back to Joker. I'm just like, I don't know. This guy's reviews are all over the place. Dora, the Lost City of Gold was a 9 out of 10.
Wait, Dora?
Dora, yeah, Dora. Dark Phoenix was a 9 out of 10. 9.4 out of 10. Sorry. Good action, great CGI, good performances. Don't listen to the criticizing. Go see it, you won't regret it. Liar! I regretted every second of that movie. Anyways, all right, let me go back to what I was looking at before. This guy it's just like a rabbit hole with this guy. So he gave Joker a 4.5 out of 10. I just buy ticket from Premium Hall to see this movie because previously I saw good reviews from IMDb. Never trust IMDb. That's why we do this. Never trust IMDb. Even though your review is wrong and IMDb's was actually more close to right. Then don't trust them. Trust us. That's what we're here for. The previews of this movie make you want to see it, but it wasn't nearly as good as I expected it. Joaquin Phoenix, who's obviously suffering from mental illness, is really bad and annoying. That's always a good thing to say to people with mental illnesses. Stop being bad and annoying.
Yeah, why are you being so annoying for being mentally ill?
Oh man, I'm depressed. Well, it's kind of annoying. You're right. My bad. It's so annoying how people with mental illnesses. Gah! 4.5. I truly don't understand the high rating on this film. Yeah, okay. I don't expect you to understand anything, really. Shazam, he gave a 5, so he's probably over 25. Yeah, he's over 25. If you don't get any of these jokes, you need to go through our archives because they're there. They're callbacks. All right. Let's check someone else real quick and then we'll wrap it up. Even though that guy was fantastic. Actually, okay, so I don't agree with the rating of this, but the subject line is kind of on point. Watching this movie was like going out with a really boring guy who keeps bringing up your ex-boyfriend who you're still in love with. That's actually, your rating is crap, but that's a good point. You give it a 1. But also true. It's just boring, not even a movie, 3 hours of nonsense. People saying, do you remember The Shining? And you'd sigh and say, yeah, I remember The Shining. It's good points. But I don't know why you're giving it a 1. The plot was directionless and bad. I think the plot had a direction. It was just shallow.
Yeah, like you said, with the villain, she had a motive. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I totally get that. She was definitely clear with her motive and what she wanted to get and what needed to be done and what should happen and stuff. So it had a direction. That's for sure.
The Shining isn't scary because there's a zombie in the bathtub. Yeah, I really like this guy. His rating is just bad. His review is solid. His rating is bad.
But then that's again, you get those guys that are well, this isn't The Shining. It's a 1. Yeah. So it's
well, this guy was pointing out they were just trying to rip off The Shining rather than. But yeah, there's other ones that are it's not shining enough.
Yeah, and then they give it a 1. Or then they're this is exactly like The Shining. It's a 10. And you're just okay.
There's no consistency on IMDb. That's why it's so fun to roll through these, is because there's never no one's ever in consensus. This person's just blaming Netflix for it being bad. Yeah.
Why Netflix?
Netflix's fault. I mean, with the amount of garbage we're used to watching nowadays, it's natural that a movie like this has a very high rating. Or maybe Netflix proves a point you can make big bucks with mediocre below average content. Why on earth would you decide to take this amazing, deep, well-constructed book and make this awful, made-up plot? Until mid-movie, everything was rather okay. Yeah, that's what I said. After that, it was a storm of nonsense. This guy doesn't know words. But, I mean, I agree. It was okay. It was good. I actually thought it was good up until around the middle. And then it slowly started dropping off, then had that really big dip, and then was kind of finished okay. So it definitely seems like this is a very divisive movie from what I'm looking at. This person gave it a 1 because they had to watch a child get murdered. What, it's a horror movie, dude. That's what happens. It's, do we really need to see this? It was supposed to be kind of that was. I actually like that scene too because it was really messed up, and I was damn, this is they're okay. Obviously, they're bad people now because they kind of had a human part to them. Yeah, side to them. And then as soon as they start killing this kid and torturing him to get the most steam out of him, then you're oh crap. But yeah, she's upset. They did it for the audience reaction. That's the whole movie is for audience reaction. That's kind of the point of movies. Director that this scene was included. Shameful exploitation. One lady actually left the theater. To my shame, I should have followed her. All right, I'm willing to bet about, I don't know, all the money I own, so $12, that lady, there was not a single lady in her theater that left. Absolutely guarantee it. No one left her theater. That's the person that's I went to Kroger and the person at the desk said Happy Holidays and I said, honey, Merry Christmas. And she started crying and everyone in the grocery store clapped. She's that kind of person. That's that person right there.
That person is this movie sucked. I'm gonna rate it this movie, but I walked out after the first 10 minutes of the movie.
So the good thing is that 27 out of 77 users found this review helpful. Which to the 27 of you guys. but it's nice that a majority of you guys are like, what the? Shut up. There's the IMDb's for you.
I like to kind of go off track of Dr. Sleep and kind of talk a little bit more and ask a few questions. Okay. Did you see the new Sonic the Hedgehog remake? Like the new...
Oh, yeah, I did.
The new look. What did you think about that?
It's better. It's way better.
It's way better.
I'm going to go see... So I was not interested in seeing
I am happy that there's a director that finally listens to his
exactly.
fans. And
that's going to get me to buy a ticket.
And yeah, we're probably going to watch it because of that reason.
Especially with things like Fallout 76 lately, and like, you know, there's all these Activision companies that are just trying to take advantage, 2K even, of the consumers and their, like, I guess, lack of options. And yeah, so it's nice to see someone who's like, oh wait, you don't like that? Okay, we'll change it because we're trying to make this so you like it. Like, since Sonic actually took the time to push it back, remodel, appease the fan base, I'll go see it just because of that.
But I just wanted to mention that was one of the new things that happened this week. There are also a few other trailers that I like to talk about. Did you see the new ScoobyDoo one?
I did, yeah.
I don't know yet. I have mixed feelings, but I don't know yet. I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan. That was kind of like my childhood. I grew up with that, so we'll see how that goes. I guess we have mixed feelings about it. We don't know what our thoughts on that.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait. I need more info.
What was the next one? The SpongeBob movie with Keanu Reeves.
It's so weird. They're just like, people nowadays are just like, Keanu's pretty cool. Let's just... I don't know. Let's find something for him to do. We'll put him in a tumbleweed.
But that's the thing is that Keanu Reeves is like, sure, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, he does.
So it's like you're just like, oh, sweet, you know.
Such a nice guy.
Keanu Reeves, man.
He is S-tier human being.
Yes, I probably I don't oppose to anything that guy does. So, and I don't think anybody in this world is too. Like.
No, he's awesome. He's so responsive to his fans.
A world-class, classy guy.
Yeah. He also just doesn't care what people think either. Like, he's just true to himself.
Him being in SpongeBob does not really have a negative thing on him or the movie in general.
The SpongeBob movie, for those of you that are like, that are going to be like, it's not my SpongeBob. Like, yeah, no, it's not yours. Because you're 35. Like, relax. Yeah, move on. It's for the new generation. Like, let kids enjoy things. It's ridiculous. I swear to God, they'll like reboot something and they'll be like, it's not as good as when I was a kid. Like, yeah, well, because you were a kid when it came out. Oh, it's so frustrating. Just let kids enjoy things that you enjoyed as a kid. That's all it's trying to do. That's why it's a different animation style.
It's not all about you.
The jokes aren't the same. They are. You're just older. Like, get freaking boomers, even though they're millennials. But relax.
Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion podcasty thing. We kind of went off track there at the end, but we're movie lovers, so we like to talk about movies and what's coming out.
Like, subscribe, comment, anything else you want us to talk about. We are willing to talk about almost anything. Yes. Yeah, so keep an eye out for next thing we do.
That'll be it. Take care, guys. Check us out on our next video.
Perfect.